Hey guys, it's Matty here, and welcome back to the Dig with Matty live show. Tonight, we will be interviewing Steve Zazulyk. Wait, Steve Zazulyk. Sorry about that. So, once he comes on, we'll add him. But while we're waiting for him, let's talk about what we're giving away tonight. Tonight, we're not giving away as much as we usually do. Sorry about that. We are giving away two things tonight. We're giving away a 1889 Morgan dollar. That's a pretty good Morgan dollar. Don't you think?
And comments you bring in, okay?
Okay. And then you commented. Let me add him real quick. We are also giving away a.
He's there. Invite him.
I know, I did.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you?
So,
I'm good. There we go. Okay, perfect.
how do you like my top?
What's that?
How do you like my top?
Yeah, I got to make some adjustments here. There we go. Okay, perfect. How are you, Matty?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I am doing good.
Jack Summers said I had to be fancy for the show, so I wore a
Oh,
top.
did he?
Okay, where was I? Oh yes, and we're also giving away a 2004 nickel coin set. Look at all those nickels.
Nice.
Morgan dollar.
Yeah, I already did.
Let's show him.
Okay, and we're also giving away a Morgan dollar from 1889. It's an 1889. Oh,
Oh, beautiful. I love those.
yeah, I've never found one. This is my dad's.
Yeah, they're when you find them, they're amazing. When I find them in the water, they're usually black.
Yeah, when I go water detecting a lot of stuff, I find everything I find in the water is black, basically.
Yeah, but do you find once you clean it, it looks pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also find that if you clean it while it's in the water or when you just come out of the water, like right away, it'll look like it was just the day it was minted. But if you wait too long and the oxygen gets to it, it's really difficult to clean.
Yeah. So,
Use electrolysis to clean it.
my dad said you could use electrolysis.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. Yeah. So you must be happy you're done school.
Yes, I am really happy. Because then, for two reasons. One, I can detect a lot more. No, three reasons. One, I can detect a lot more. Two, I get to go out and have all fun. I like theme parks that are around here and stuff. And three, now that all those weird kids at the school that always make fun of you for every little thing, I don't have to deal with them anymore.
So you get a summer off from all those kids.
Yes. Until
And
until next year.
what grade are you going into, Maddie?
I'm going to 8th.
Oh, great. Oh, excellent. Then off to high school, right? Now, are you in the States? Is that considered junior high school in grade 8?
It would be considered, but in my certain township, we don't have junior high at all.
Okay, so you
So
go from
I'm still
grade
in
9.
so I'm still in middle school right now.
Yeah, great, nice. So you'll be
But
able to get out in the summer and do lots of detecting, find lots of stuff.
yeah, get lots of stuff.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. What's the best thing you found?
I have found a 1774 2 real.
Oh, wow. Okay, and what machine did you use?
I was using the CTX 3030 at the time.
Nice. And was it deep?
I think it was about maybe like 6 inches down.
Nice. And like in a park or something like that, or?
No, it was old farm field.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have in the farm fields, do you find a lot of arrowheads?
No, I've never found an arrowhead, and neither has my dad.
Yeah, there's in the area that I come from in Canada, well, most of Canada, there's a lot of areas where there's arrowheads and a lot of native stuff.
Yeah, the history of Canada, most of it in like the 1700s was just trading places with Indians, which would
Yeah.
explain.
Yeah, the French came over, the French traders, and they would trade with the natives that were here.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the first things I found was I was detecting in a creek here, and I got a target, and I thought it was a fishing lure, and it ended up being a bracelet, a French a trade bracelet that they had traded with the natives, and it had been dropped in the water, and it was a couple hundred years old. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You know, we have to go detect up in Canada sometime.
Like to.
For two reasons. They got good stuff up there and good people.
That is true. That is true. Have you ever been to Canada, Matty?
When I was a baby.
You're a baby. Okay. Yeah, especially this time of year, it's really beautiful, really nice. We just had our metal detecting event, Jack Summers event, in Toronto last weekend, and Bo Met Aqua Chigger was up here.
Nice.
Yeah, and Jocelyn Elizabeth was up here, and we've had a few people up here. Last year, Gary Drayton was up here. We had who else did we have? Yeah, we've had quite a few people come up. What's that?
I wasn't up there.
I know. Well, we were waiting for you. You just didn't show up.
Yeah.
So listen. Tell me just before, I know you're going to get into some questions about me. Tell me a little bit about you. How long you've been detecting?
I've been detecting for 8 years? No, 7. Almost.
7 years.
Yeah, almost 8.
You've actually been detecting for more than a lot of adults that I know.
Yeah.
And your dad obviously got you into it?
Yeah. I was just looking at his machine, and when he'd be out detecting, I'd be just there making sure no one comes up behind him with a crowbar
Yeah.
or something.
And your dad's been detecting for a long time, right?
Yeah, longer than I've been alive.
I bet you. Is he one of these like 30-year veterans?
26 years.
See, almost. I was pretty close.
Yeah.
So
So,
I'm sure he's found lots of good stuff.
yes, he has. What?
But no gold coin.
He just said, but no gold coin.
No gold coins yet. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. But hey, I'm still technically a beginner if you think about it. I haven't even had 10 years yet.
That was actually one of the very first things that my friend and I found were we found 10 1-ounce gold coins buried under a tree in the woods, which kind of led me on to being on Oak Island.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So did you want to ask me a couple of questions? I know you wanted to ask me a few things.
Oh, yes, we have 25 questions ready for you.
25.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. I'm coughing on my water.
Yeah,
So,
no problem.
how long have you been detecting for?
I guess about 9 years now. About 9 years. I actually got a detector probably about 20 years ago, and I kind of did it on and off. But when I say 9 years, 8 years, I'm seriously where I would go out daily to do it, and then eventually it turned into a lot more than that for me.
Nice. So it's like you got your detector, but you didn't really get into it until about 9 years.
Yeah, I got like an old bounty hunter. So I go out and I wouldn't find anything, and I got, you get disappointed, right? And then you go
Yeah.
home.
I actually read your article in the American Digger magazine
Yeah.
talking about how for like the first 2 years of your detecting, you'd be like, you wouldn't find anything.
Nothing. I thought I was the biggest loser in the world. Yeah, I didn't find anything. Nothing.
I was reading it. I'm like, agree, agree, agree.
Yeah. Pop tops, beer caps, junk.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing is you go home and then you go on Facebook And everybody's like, hey, I found a real today. Hey, I found a gold ring today. Oh no, I found 3 gold rings today. And you're like, oh, kill me now.
You hear that, Dad? My dad just said, I got 7.
Yeah, see? His post was probably the one I was looking at.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's nice when you come home with 32 rings in one hand.
He just said, it's nice when you come home with 32 gold rings in one hand.
It is. It is.
No, I've never gotten like more than 3 gold rings in a day.
That, 3 rings in one day is
Pretty good.
incredible.
Yeah.
There's very few people that can say they've done that. So I mean that's amazing.
Yeah. All right. What got you interested in detecting?
Ooh, so I was in Florida, and I used to fish a lot, and I I saw a guy coming down the beach with a detector, and I went over to him and asked him what everybody asks you, did
What
you
is that?
find anything?
Oh.
And he goes, yeah, he goes, I'm a professional treasure hunter. And I laughed, and I'm like, yeah, as if those exist. And he was like, no. He goes, I truly am a professional treasure hunter. He was German. So I talked to him for a little while. Like, what does that mean? And he's like, I travel throughout the world. I spend a lot of time in Europe, and I go all over the place treasure hunting.
Nice.
I said, wow, that's amazing. And he goes, would you like to come over and see some of the things I find? And I'm like, yeah. So he invited me over to his house. I went over, and the things he showed me were incredible. I'd never seen anything like that or like that since. The stuff he had found was amazing from all over the world.
Wow. That reminds me of my dad's backstory to detecting. He said that his neighbor would go out detecting, and in his garage, he had like rows upon rows of little coffee cans full of Civil War bullets. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the American Civil War bullets.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
This guy had everything. He had found an area in Europe where there was Viking stuff. So he had found like there's these things that looks like a half moon, and they would shave with that. He had Viking swords, literal Viking swords. He had gold rings from the war. They were Nazi rings. He had all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. Never seen anything like it in my life.
Dad, not only do I have to go to Canada, but now we got to go to Europe.
Well, we know
Yeah.
that.
So
We know a
yeah,
few people in Europe.
yeah. My daughter lives in Europe, and I go and I visit her, and that's why I detect a lot over in Europe.
Huh, cool.
Yeah.
Ever been out of North America?
Yeah, you will eventually.
One
You'll
day.
go. But when you go to Europe, it's incredible because of the history, right?
Yeah.
You find a 1700 or 1800s coin there, they'll throw it away, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, what's this junk,
Yeah.
right? Because they're looking for hammered coin and Saxon gold.
Yeah, you go to Europe and it's like, wow, this 1700s coin, 1600s coin is amazing to a North American. And the European's like,
I'm gonna
holy
use it for the pop machine.
that's like
Yeah,
my granny's car. Get out of here.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's some I've detected in Germany and Austria and Italy. I was in Italy, I think last year,
What?
water detecting, and yeah, I was in the water for an hour, and I got 2 really beautiful gold rings, Italian gold with diamonds, and like there's so many places you can detect there that are fantastic.
Tell me, do you know any Italian at all?
Me? No, not at all. A little bit, but not enough to try and
Yeah.
impress.
I know a little bit of Italian, not a lot. Like I know how to say hello. That's
Grazie.
it.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Because you're Italian, right?
Yeah, I'm Italian.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, next question. What do you want to ask me?
Um, I'm pretty sure you already answered this, but what was your first machine again?
So the very, very first a long time ago was a bounty hunter, but my first machine that I would say was a White's, and then I went right into Mine Lab. I got my first machine that I really, really liked was the Mine Lab E-Track.
Nice. It's a, the E-Track's a pretty good machine. I think I used it like maybe twice.
You use the Safari and the
Oh,
Excalibur
I've used not. I haven't used the E-Track. I used the Safari and the Excalibur before,
and the Explorer.
and the Explorer. But I've heard good things about the E-Track.
Yeah, the E-Track was great. It was what I used when I first started ring finding too, and it was just a really easy machine to use. It was light,
Yeah.
and you could just basically turn on and go, and it was a nice machine. And then eventually I started doing a lot of water hunting, so I got the Excalibur and eventually the
Yeah.
CTX, and now the Equinox. I love the Equinox.
Yes, the Equinox is beautiful. If I
Yeah.
had me, I'd be like, ooh,
I
Equinox.
do have one right there in the box.
Oh yeah, can you go grab that for me? Hold on. My dad's coming over with an Equinox box.
Hey, we got lots of people, by the way, coming on. We got someone from Australia there. We've got all kinds of people watching. This is great. Hi, everybody. This is
If we
great.
get 1,000,000 views, we will give this away.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Wait, one.
that's the deal for the rest of my shows for the rest of the year. The reason I do that is because I know I'll never hit 1,000,000 views.
Well, you never know. It depends on what you give away. Give away a car. See what happens.
I spilled water on myself. Okay. What
Hi,
makes
Kissimmee, Florida. We got Kissimmee, Florida here too. Man, it's great. Oh,
nice?
we got the king. So there's a guy watching right now, my buddy Roland. We call him the king, and he is in the Caribbean. And this guy's probably the best ring finder I've ever met in my life. He's been doing it for about 16 years, and he's literally found thousands of rings. He's watching right now.
Nice.
Yeah,
You might get together. You'd find a lot.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Go ahead with your question.
Oh no, it's all right. Um, what ma- what machine are you using right now? You said the Equinox, correct?
Equinox 800, yeah. So it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm ring finding, or I'm diving, or I'm water hunting, or land hunting. So um, as you know, it's just like golf. You use a different club for each green, right? But I would say mostly right now in the water, I'm using the Equinox in less than 10 or 15 feet of water. And then anything deeper than that, it's always the Excalibur.
Nice.
Yeah, the Excalibur is good up to 200 feet deep.
Yeah. You seem to have quite the plan strategy for detecting.
Well, I know I've been really fortunate because I have my dive partner, my detecting partner has been, he's a pro, he's a veteran of 20, 25 years, I think,
Nice.
on land and in the water. And he's probably the best that I know of in the water. And I don't know how many dives he has. He's got to have over at least over 1,000 dives. So
Nice.
he's very, very proficient in the water, and he actually owns with his partner Pete Anderson. They own Anderson Detector Shafts, Ryan Physicus. So a lot of my equipment is equipped with their shaft too. They've got really good aftermarket detector shafts. So especially for diving and in the water, they're really good.
Huh. Seems interesting. I'll have to look into that. Maybe.
Well, when you get in the water diving, right?
Yeah.
You never know. You got to get your scuba certificate, right? And you're old enough to get it now. You know that, right?
Huh. I
How
did
old are
not.
you right now?
I am 13.
Yep. Yeah, they have a junior course that you can go to and you can get certified.
Nice. Speaking of getting certified, are you a certified diver?
I am. I am a certified diver.
And just quick question: what does it feel like when you're like detecting completely under the water?
It's weird the first time you go in. Like I remember the very, very first time I went in, and I was literally just rolling around the bottom, right? Like with cables and wires and everything all over me, and I was Ryan had to keep coming over and like set me up straight, and I'd be like falling over because it's a whole different world, right? Gravity feels different, everything feels different, and you're dealing with a lot more than just your detector and your headphones. Now you've got on all your dive equipment and all your hoses and your mask. You're in water. You've got to be very careful of where you're diving and where you are and what's above you. And then on top of that, yeah, you're trying to detect. So it takes a little bit to really start feeling like you get the feel of it underwater. But once you do, Matty, once you do start getting comfortable, it's amazing. It is amazing, especially when you go down to like the Caribbean. Like I usually go down to an island in the Caribbean. I was in Grenada, Antigua, and Aruba over the last year. And, you go down to these areas and the water's crystal clear. And then you see all these beautiful fish coming by. And then if you're at a really good beach, you start pulling out gold and you can do videos. I do GoPro video, right? And the
Wow.
videos are fantastic because it's just so clear and vivid. People love it. If you go onto my, I think it's on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. There you'll see a video of Ryan and I in Aruba, and it's the footage is amazing of us finding gold rings.
I'll have to go and look at that. I'm really interested right now.
Yeah,
Oh, and just a quick question: Did you dive with KG and Ringy?
I certainly did. I actually, uh, Ryan and I were the ones that taught them how to dive detect.
Nice.
Yeah, so they came up to Canada and I kept on inviting them. I said, you got to come up and we'll get you in the water and see how you do. And I said, you got to get certified before you come. And they did. And both of them were very keen on it, especially Tim. Tim was very keen on it. And they came up with Steve Moore, who is also another representative of Garrett at the time, and we had an awesome weekend. I think we had 4 or 5 days of diving, and the guys were. It was weird because people looked so different underwater, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of weird diving down there, and then all of a sudden there's Tim and KG down there with us, and both of them. I remember the very first day we had land detected, and the guys they found a few things but nothing great, and Tim was kind of getting a little down, and I said, don't worry, Timmy, it's okay, we're going to get out in the water and you're going to find a gold ring, right? So we're water hunting around, and I get up from the water and I look up over at Tim, and by then he was like not in a great mood, and then all of a sudden he had this look on his face and he said, I just found a gold ring. And he freaked out. And he found this beautiful gold ring with a pearl in it. And that was it. He was like, okay, man, I love being in the water. And then I think that trip or another trip they came up, we were out pretty deep in the water, and George was just digging and digging and digging. I'm like, oh my God, George, you're just going to be down at the center of the earth soon. And then sure enough, he pulled out this beautiful gold ring. Yeah, both of them did really well.
Nice. That is awesome.
You like those guys?
Yes, they're also a big part that made me join detecting.
Yep.
And it and
Yeah, they're really good ambassadors to our hobby. I really like people like that. I like when people are kind to everybody, and I like when they mentor people and they don't say bad things about people. I think that, this isn't a place for all that. I think this is a place for everybody to really encourage everybody and, don't get jealous and just go out there and like have fun together, have a laugh. And those guys are all about that, right?
Yeah. And currently, right now, we are trying to get them on my show.
Oh, I'll call them. I'll talk to them into getting on your show.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Hey, there's a guy that's really cool. There's a guy watching right now. His name's Gary Penta. Do you know
Oh yeah,
Gary?
we had him on.
Yeah, you had him on. Yeah, he makes the little miniature
Yeah,
art.
he made me one.
Yeah, he made me one too. It's awesome. I think I saw yours. You posted it, right?
Yeah, we did. I
Yeah.
don't currently.
I don't know where it's at. It's hidden somewhere.
It's hidden somewhere right now.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he made me an X-Cal and
Oh wait,
like with an Anderson shaft on it.
I will be right back. Temporarily. It
No
is.
problem. I can keep talking. I've done this before.
Wait, can I go get it?
No, where's
It's on my bed shelf, all the way on the furthest next to the wall, mid
It
section.
looks like we've got a lot of viewers right now. It's incredible. There's all kinds of people watching right now. It's great.
It's my special edition gold CTX on there.
So yeah, let me see a few of the people that we've got on here. We got Travis
Oh,
Allen.
be right back.
Just came in,
Okay.
and there's Gary Penta. Yeah, I'm glad those guys. I think we got Mark Hoover on tonight, and Jeffrey Rawl. Let's start watching. Oh, what do we got here? Digging. Oh, look at that! Wow, he actually did a little figure of you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. Look at that.
He even I didn't realize it until a few days after we got it, but
Yeah,
I used to always wear one of my headphones off my ear so I could hear everything.
yeah,
He put that on there. He has one of the headphones off my ear. If you see there.
yeah. Yeah, we've got a bunch of people watching tonight. That's great. I've got Philip from Florida. Jack Summers is watching. Right.
Yeah.
This is great. You've got lots of people watching, Matty. You're doing well.
Thanks.
Yeah, good for you.
I think it also has to do partly with the fact that it's you on the show.
I highly doubt it, but that's nice of you to say.
And
It's
just
not
another
easy to do a podcast, is it, Matty?
what?
I say it's not easy sometimes, right, to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty good at it. You're doing well.
Yeah. There's sometimes people that they don't like to talk enough, and there's also other people that talk too much.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like me?
You don't worry, you're doing perfectly fine.
Okay, good. You just tell me.
Okay. So, just one quick question. Have you ever run into or see like a shark while you're diving?
Lots of times. Yeah, it's interesting because when we go dive detecting, we'll go into the water early in the morning, and then we'll use 3, 4 tanks a day. So sometimes we're not out of the water until late in the evening, and then we'll go to multiple beaches, right? So if we're on an island in the Caribbean, we'll plan out 5 or 6 beaches, and then we'll just go from beach to beach. And sometimes, you'll get to a beach at maybe about 7 o'clock at night, and then the sun will start going down at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, right? Which is not the greatest time to be in the water. So the last time we were in Aruba, I was in the water and it was late, and I kept on seeing this black flash go by, and I realized, oh, I better get out of the water because there's tiger sharks in the area, right? So, and that's exactly what was happening. And I've actually been in South Africa too. I was in South Africa, and when I was out in the water, I actually got bumped by a great white shark.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. So, and it was big. It was like Jaws big.
Well, great white sharks, they're not known for attacking people like on purpose. Well, if it sees a person, its initial thought, if it knows it's a human, is, I'm not gonna go for that. It's not fish.
Yeah, sharks aren't. We've dove when we were in Bahamas. We dove the Blue Hole, and there was all kinds of different types of sharks there. Sharks aren't. The problem is TV and movies.
Yeah,
Is they got everybody afraid of sharks, right? But the reality is when you're in the water and you see a shark, they're very docile and they won't bother you. But if you
yeah.
if you do something, if you
You
do
mess with
something,
it, it's gonna kill you.
yeah, if you do something dumb, like if you're spear fishing and you've got a fish on your spear that's
You're
bleeding
dead.
and shaking,
Well,
the animal, its natural instinct is to go for that, right? It's not going for you, it's its natural instinct, right?
yeah.
But we've never had a problem. We were in we were in Dominican Republic, and I was just right behind or over to the side of Ryan, and we were detecting, and he was just kind of, we were, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 feet of water, and there was a coral reef, and he was close to it and started getting a target, and then all of a sudden, you ever see those green moray eels?
Yeah.
It came out and bit his hand, and it was like a flash.
Ah.
Yeah, it was the fastest thing I'd ever seen come out and bite him, and it was pretty eventful.
You know, my dad, he has he has a forever fear of snakes.
Yeah,
He's over there in the chair like, oh boy, here we go.
yeah. So I've been in the water, and the thing that actually gets my attention are water snakes. There's a black and white water snake that's in the Caribbean. It's actually very
Poisonous.
venomous.
Yeah.
And they're all over the place. So those are the kind of things you need to be more careful of than, and like lionfish. Lionfish can be very toxic and venomous if you touch them. So there are other things in the water that you have to be really careful of.
Yeah. So, Dad, you ever going diving in the Caribbean?
Tomorrow.
He said tomorrow.
Good. We're gonna get it. We'll get him fit up and we can go.
Yeah. So, next question. What's your favorite diving find?
My favorite diving find. That's an interesting question. It's strange because I found like hundreds of rings, and rings are very cool. I've got my new book coming out called The Ring Finder, so I obviously really enjoy that. But
Yeah.
it's you'll find this kind of interesting, Matty. I actually like finding old toys, like the old type of thing from the 30s and 40s. I love finding that stuff. So
Nice.
it's very cool.
You
Now one of the finds that I really liked, we were diving a river, and Ryan had pulled out a clay bottle that he eyeballed, and it was from 1887, and it was in the mud, and when he pulled it out, it looked like it had just been made. It was beautiful. And I was detecting around, and I was not finding anything. And I'm like crying on the bottom of the water because I can't, I'm like feeling like a loser again. And as I'm literally laying with my head on the bottom, feeling sorry for myself, I look, and there's this rock about that big, and it's got a hole going straight through it. And I'm
it's
like,
about.
wow, is that ever weird? And I thought, it's too odd. So I went over and I picked it up and I brought it to the surface. And then we eventually realized that it was a native fire starter that was thousands of years old. And it was really neat because it fits you sit down and it fits in between your knees hug it. And the bones in your knee fit around the rock perfectly. So then they put tinder in that, and then they put a stick in it, and they start their fire. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and whenever I find anything native like that or any historical thing, I'm a member of a few historical societies, so I'll give it to the historical society.
Nice. So, I heard that you found a safe. What can you tell us about that?
So the other thing that I like to do is magnet fishing. So, and in our area, well, in everybody's area, you can go on YouTube and see so many videos of people magnet fishing, and sure enough, you know, you'll get in, especially over bridges. That's where you'll find safes, and yeah, it's I really enjoy magnet fishing, and sometimes you get some really awesome finds like that, bicycles, mini bikes, like all crazy things, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever magnet fish?
I have I have gone plenty of times before.
Yeah, in the upcoming issue of American Digger magazine, for you people watching, I'm actually a writer and I have a column in American Digger magazine. And the upcoming, I think it is I want to get this straight, July, August issue, I think. Yeah, there's my column called Below the Surface. So that's all about water detecting and dive detecting. And I also do articles. So I write that column every issue, and then I also will write 3 or 4 articles throughout the year. And the next one coming out is about magnet fishing. I wrote a whole article about magnet fishing.
Nice. So, real quick question about the safe. What was inside of it?
Just papers.
Oh,
Money was
that's
gone.
lame.
Yeah. Yeah. What happens usually is people will rob a place. They'll get the money out and then they'll just dump it into a local river or bridge. That's usually what you'll find in it. But I've actually seen videos where guys actually find that there's money in them, wrapped up money.
Yeah, I saw this one thing. Well, never mind. We don't have. Yeah, let's do a giveaway first. What did we give away? We are giving away a United States Mint Westward Journey Nickel Series. For all of you that don't live in the U.S., this is worthless. I will be picking a person.
And then
What do they get to win? A pizza?
Just ignore the background for now, okay?
Okay.
Douglas Day. Douglas Day, are you here?
Now we're waiting. Ask him.
So while we're waiting for that, we're going to do our question that we always do. Do you like pizza?
I love pizza. Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
thank goodness.
Tell me I had somebody from Canada that liked cottage ham.
Oh boy, we had someone else from Canada that said, I like cottage ham better.
Like what?
I like cottage ham better. That's what DJ said.
I've never heard of that. I don't even know what he's talking about. But the question is, this is the big question for everybody tonight. Who likes anchovies?
No! Be gone! Do you?
I love them.
Alright guys, we're
I
canceling.
also, and usually people who like anchovies like blue cheese. So, but I like anchovies.
Douglas Day's here, by the way.
Oh, congratulations, Douglas Day. Make sure you get your information out to my dad and we'll send this out to you.
Nice.
Hopefully you live in the USA and this actually worth something.
Nice.
Also, something real quick. I saw that Jack Summers was in the chat. Once again, before the show, he told me I should be fancy.
There you go.
I had to do that. So, back to the interview. Back to your regularly programmed interview. Alright. So, the American Digger magazine.
Yeah.
How long have you been writing for them?
Ooh, I think I've had my column for about a year now, and I've been the very first article I wrote for them was maybe about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I there was a contest of the best article of the year, and they had notified me that I was supposed to win, but I had written too many words. You're supposed to write 2,500 words, and I had too many words, so that I couldn't be elected for the I couldn't win that year. And I'd written a couple more articles, and then they had asked me to become a columnist, which was really, really nice of Butch. Butch Holcomb and Anita Holcomb are great people. I really like the magazine.
They were on my show too.
Where are they?
Yeah.
Butch
was.
Butch was, yeah. Now that's a guy that has found a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and in what they know about the Civil War is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not too much that you can dig up from the ground from the Civil War where they don't know what it is.
Yeah. And real quickly, at almost the end of the show, I was going to tell you about the Civil War, just so you know.
Sure.
So we'll get back to that later.
Sure.
What inspired you to write for the magazine?
Oh, I've always liked writing, and I also I think at the time there wasn't anybody writing anything about water hunting or dive detecting, and I know there's so many people that were interested in it and going into the water. I think that's what kind of inspired me is I wanted to start doing some articles about because we did so much of it. We do so much. We're in the water so much. I figured I had something to offer. And then when I started writing the articles in the column, the feedback was amazing. Like people like, oh, I want to get in the water. I love this, or I'm a water hunter, and I found this, and it's pretty cool. Like there's some amazing, amazing water hunters and detectorists out there. And then I was very fortunate because a friend of mine, really a good friend of mine, Betty Weber. She was an amazing detectorist, and she passed away last year. And just before she had passed away, I decided to do an article about women in detecting. And she was, ironically, I got a hold of Betty first because she was like my favorite detectorist. And I had 2 to 3 months. I had a chance to do interviews with her. And I was the last one to interview her, and I wrote an article called "The Silver Queen." They used to call her the Silver Queen because she loved finding silver, and that I got an award for that and it wasn't because of me, but it's because of who the subject was. Betty Weber was amazing.
Yeah.
We met her at
we met her once out in Ohio.
Oh, you met Betty?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. She was a sweet, sweet lady and a great detectorist, really good detectorist. And fisherman, musky fisherman, right? She did everything.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your book, The Ring Finder?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've been waiting for so a year ago I decided to start writing my book. And then because of my hobby that I really like, ring finding. So basically, for those of you watching that don't know what a ring finding service is, it's when someone loses a ring and they hire you to go out and find it for them. So I do a lot of that. If you go onto my Facebook page and my YouTube, you'll see a lot of videos where I go out and I find rings for people and I return them. And I try to do live returns with my ring finding. So like I'll find it and they won't know I have it with me, and then I'll ask them questions and I'll show them the ring. And the response is incredible. People go crazy.
I saw the sapphire ring in the snow, I believe it was.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, the one, yeah, and I've been very fortunate because I've done a lot of it now, and I've returned many rings, and I just thought it would be a great thing to write about if people wanted to get into ring finding and they didn't really know much about it, or they do it and they would like to kind of up their game and really get into it a little bit more seriously. So I basically wrote a book for anybody to, and it walks you through all the steps of like, this is what ring finding is. This is the type of detector that, you should, look for. This is how you should practice with it. This is how you advertise online. This is how you talk to your client for the first time and then meet them. And then it walks you step through step of actually finding the ring. I have different types of methods to find the ring in there, and I've got diagrams. I've got photos and some beautiful photography of actual ring finds. And then I've got some really nice diagrams of all the different types of search patterns and that type of thing. And yeah, that's what the book is about, the ring finder. So I've been waiting for it to come in because you have to get it in first, kind of look at it. It's going to be, the pre-sale is going to start on July 1st, and then July 15th, it'll be available for people. But I just got it in.
Nice.
Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, so
Also,
I'm really excited about it.
really quickly, someone in the chat made a really funny comment. They said, I found my ex-wife's ring and I threw it back.
Maybe I found it. You never know. That's funny.
So, where can people buy it?
So it's going to be people will be able to go onto my website, and my last name. This is the thing that people always have a hard time with, is my last name. So my last name is Zazulyk.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So just today, I was saying Steve Zazulyk.
Yeah. Hey, you said that perfectly. People don't usually get it that well. That's good. Yeah. So it's in my website's zazulyk.com. And then also you'll be able to find it on Amazon. So all you got to do is just put the ring finder in Amazon and you'll find it.
Nice. Wait, did I say Zazulyk? I meant Zazulyk. That's what I was saying. But then after it was told to me, I couldn't stop saying Zazulyk.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like,
Yes, that's how people can find it. Yeah, that's how people can find it. And then hopefully, people who are watching this who are close to have their a dealer, a metal detecting dealer in their city, they can request that dealer to wholesale dealer to order them in and sell them at their store. I would love that if they got a hold of us, and they can do that through my website too.
nice. Also, I was wondering, can I get a signed copy of your book? I
was just gonna offer you one. As long as you read it and talk about it, Matty, I will send you a free copy signed. In fact, you know what I'll do? I will send you the first signed copy.
Ooh, nice.
It's on the hat.
Okay?
Hey, you see this hat?
Yeah, I like that hat.
It's going straight to you.
Is it? Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that hat.
This is your hat.
Nice. Perfect.
Unless you want it signed, then I think.
Show them what it's on.
Hold on, let me show you what it's on.
Oh yeah, you got to sign it. I have looked like that coming out of the water sometimes.
It's a candle in the mouth.
It's a candle.
Yeah.
Looks like it'll burn for a long time.
Okay, keep going.
So do you have any more giveaways you're doing tonight? Like how often do you give
yes.
giveaways?
We today we cut down a little bit on the giveaways because we knew it was going to be a pretty long show. But so we only had 2 giveaways, and soon enough, near towards the end of the show, we'll give away our second giveaway, which is an 1889 Morgan dollar. You don't just find these things. We pay good money.
Can you turn it around? Can we see the back of it?
Take it out.
No, let's just take it out.
Let's see that. Let's see that eagle. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Those things are awesome.
Focus in on the darn coin. Okay, never mind then, I guess. The cover says how to make a profit with your metal detector. have you made a profit using your mail detector?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I was just
Yeah.
making sure that you weren't like giving us false information on like first thing.
No, no, I've done quite well, and I've done very, very well, to be quite honest with you. And
Nice.
yeah, and I realized because I've done so well that it would be great if you could teach someone how to do that so they could do well too, right?
Yeah.
In a span of about 3 or 4 weeks, I found an earring at a golf course that was lost. A lady was on a very, very high-end golf course, and she went in to the greens, and there was a wooded area where she had lost her ball. And when she went in there, a branch hit her ear, and it pulled off
Ooh.
a VS1 earring that was a $60,000 set.
Ooh.
And I found that earring for her. They had been looking for about a week and couldn't find it, and then I found it. And then a few weeks later, I found a $47,000 diamond ring in a driveway. And I think not too much after that, I'd found a $38,000 ring on the side of a hill for someone who had lost it. So I'd found $100,000 worth of rings within, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and,
So
and, and I'm only saying that because anybody can go out and do that. I'm nothing special. I just use the formula that's in that book, and people got a hold of me. I knew how to assess. The number one thing is to be able to assess the call that comes in, whether it's real, it's phony, or if it's worth going to. And it's
yeah.
all in the book. I literally just put it all in the book.
Also, quick question: how much of a tip do you get for a $40,000 ring?
Well, it depends on the person who, for that one particular one, or sometimes people will pay you $500. Some people will pay you $5,000. It depends on what you're looking for, right? I was offered a gratuity for a ring, that was very, very expensive in the water, and they had offered $8,000 for the ring. And then, you'll go out and people will, won't have a lot of money. And a lot of times I don't charge them, to be quite honest with you. If I see that, it's a young couple and they're just newly married and they can't really afford it and they've lost their wedding ring, I won't charge them at all. And then if, buddy drives up in a Land Rover, I'm going to charge him. Right? That's all there's to it.
Have like this high-end family rolling up in like their like raised limo. And
Yeah, those people can afford to get their ring back, right? And they're
yeah,
willing to pay.
yeah. Hey, I lost my $10,000 ring along with my $80,000 watch. I need you to get it.
Yeah, there was a gentleman in the States in a lake on a houseboat, and he had a gold Rolex that it was old too, so it was worth a lot of money, like $30,000-$40,000. And he put his Rolex in his hat because he was putting on suntan lotion, and then when he picked his hat back up, he put the hat on his head and the Rolex went overboard.
Wow.
Yeah, so we get called for all kinds of stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, real quick question. Will the book be on Amazon?
the book will be on Amazon. Yeah, the book will be available on Amazon very soon
Nice.
for pre-sale, like probably around, we're hoping for July 1st, and then it'll be ready to be, so for pre-sale, and then it'll be ready to go to your house by July 15th. So, but you're going to have one sent to your place anyhow, so you're good. Signed
Yeah.
copy.
So, approximately how many ring returns do you do a year?
Oh boy, oh boy. I do a lot. Sometimes in the summertime, I'll get called to 4 or 5 ring returns in a day.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'll go, we'll go straight through the summer. Sometimes I won't get any calls in a day, but typically in the summertime, I'll get a lot of calls for beaches. And then even to be quite honest with you, in the wintertime, we get sometimes even more calls throughout the week because of it's cold weather and people are losing their rings in the snow and that type of thing.
Huh. Just like the one video I mentioned I watched. The one with the
What's
sapphire,
that?
the one with the sapphire ring in the winter.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how does someone get in touch with you if they need to find a ring?
So there's a couple different ways, and I explain them in the book. I'm also a member of Ring Finders, ringfinders.com. So you can find me on there. And then I also advertise in local classifieds and that type of thing. So a lot of people know who I am now. I have a large area where people know that what I do, and so I don't. Lately, it hasn't been a problem advertising because a lot of people know I do this, and then I'm assuming and I'm hoping once my book comes out, that'll be even better.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, like all those people that are watching tonight, we've got some really cool people watching tonight that are good detectorists. They're very, very, astute with their detector, and they've been doing it for a long time. They're scuba divers. It's basically what I wrote the book for, is for people like that to really get into it and do well. Like I said, one of the first things I say in the book is I don't. It's not because I'm anything great. I just followed the process, and like people on here would be much better than I'm at it, but um, I've been successful at it, and I really like it. There's nothing like, Matty, there's nothing like giving back a ring to somebody that they've thought they've lost it forever, and it's sentimental to them, right? It's like really amazing.
Yeah. I remember this one time, this woman, I know it's not a ring recovery, but it's actually a pretty, like, horrible story. She walks up to us and she says, I lost my gold chain. It had a cross on it with all gemstones on it. So we're looking for this thing.
Family heirloom.
It was a family heirloom, and we can't find it. And then she leaves and she gave me like $20 bill. I was like, oh yeah, I got money. I look to my right, and this guy pulls out a big gold chain with a cross that had all gems on it, and it looked like a family heirloom, and puts it on as souvenir.
Oh,
He stole it from her stuff,
oh,
and
okay.
I even if I were to say something, it was my word against his. So, and she left.
There you go. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed a couple questions. One person, and by the way, I've got my friend Janice Carter's on there. I think she's a diver from the Diver Girls. So there's some great divers that are here tonight watching. But someone had asked in the book if I cover ring finding, scuba diving, dive detecting for rings, and I do. So the book actually talks about finding rings on land, on the beach, and in the water. It covers all three spots.
Nice.
Yeah. So, oh,
Before
what
we
are we
get
doing now? This looks exciting. You're getting that box out again.
before we get too off track, we're doing our last giveaway for the night. We are giving away the 1889 Morgan dollar.
Man, you got a lot of these Morgans.
Yeah, and if you look, you can see the O if it ever focuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt anyone can see that if it ever focuses. So,
How do you get your name in that red box?
oh snap! I forgot to say that. You have in for next time, guys. In order to get in, you have to share you have to share and you have to say that you shared. That way we know. Sorry about that, everyone.
Actually, I've been seeing a few people say shared, 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 so they must be doing it.
Yeah, the old people that have been here before know what to do. But
Okay.
people,
It's pinned on the comment section. So
oh,
you know.
it's pinned in the comment section. Never mind. Gerald Branch, are you here, Gerald Branch?
There we go.
Ask the next question.
So while we're waiting for him,
21.
huh?
21.
Oh yeah. In your opinion, what's your all-time best find?
In my opinion, what's my all-time best find?
Yes.
Oh, well, us finding those 10 1-ounce gold coins was pretty cool. As far as I really like I found a Mizpah ring in the water, which was dated from 1887, 1897, 87. And I don't know, do you know what a Mizpah ring is?
A what?
A Mizpah. Have you ever heard of Mizpah?
Nope.
So back in the day, Matty, like a long time ago, when you had a girlfriend and you were going to go away to war or something, you would give each other a Mizpah ring, and that meant like, hey, you remember you're my girlfriend when I'm away, and I'll remember you're my boyfriend. And it was like a really big thing back then, and you get like a little Mizpah necklace and a ring. And they don't do that anymore, but I think it's kind of sweet and sentimental that people used to do that back then. And this one was made out of gold, and it was hallmarked on the inside 1887. So that for me was a pretty special ring for me to find. I really like that. So, and I also remember my first breastplate that I found in a War of 1812 area, which was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Also, really quickly before people get mad, Gerald Branch, congratulations. You won. I see that you're there. Make sure you get your information out to my dad so we can send out the Morgan Dollar to you. Also, I found funny was that while you were talking in the little comment section, it said Steve Zazulyk has joined the stream, has started watching.
I have?
Yeah, it says that in this chat thing.
Okay. Maybe it's my hacker.
So,
Yeah, so again, my friend Janice just came on there. So she's out in the western part of the States, and she and her friends they're like scuba diver girls. And these girls, they dive out on the coast in California, and they've got like millions of followers, and people love to watch those girls dive in the water out there. And it reminds me of how nice the water is out in California to dive in. It's absolutely beautiful. Have you ever been out in California at all?
yes, I have. I've been out there once. It was
Yeah.
for a gold panning event, and
Ooh.
it was the GPAA.
Nice. And
It was pretty cool. I have a few little vials of gold.
Met Kevin Hogan.
oh, very cool. Very cool. I like that.
I met Kevin Hogan.
Hoagland.
Oh, nice.
Hoagland. Sorry about that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty fun. So, 22. Wait, ignore that. What's your most unusual find?
My most unusual find. Well, finding that coin on Oak Island was pretty unusual, especially where it was.
Yeah.
It was very unusual. But that was pretty interesting to be on Oak Island for season one. When I got there, they didn't even know the name of the show. They said, we don't even know what we're going to call this show. And then they also said we're probably not going to make it into season two because we haven't found anything. So that was interesting. But the island was very interesting because they've dug so many holes on that island. It looks like a piece of Swiss cheese. I'm surprised it still floats. There's just holes everywhere. Right. So that's one of the interesting things that I found. And then when we like I said, I found a lot of rings, hundreds and hundreds of rings, and the old vintage rings are very very ornate, and they're beautifully designed, and they don't make rings like this anymore. Some of them are fantastic. Like if you go on my Instagram page, which is called Dive Detecting, you can see some of these old rings that I found, and some of them are fascinating.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty. Some of them are unusual. Some of them are, we find old, like I say, old toys. Like they used to play with these old cast toys back then, and some of them are like cowboys and Indians and all that kind of stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah. Also, over here in like New Jersey, in like the Bay Area and stuff, sometimes we'll go out there and we'll find little lead figurines from like the 20s.
Yeah. See, I love that. That stuff
Yeah.
is cool. Right. I love like the old trucks and the cars that they have. Yeah, that stuff is cool. I've got a whole shelf of these things that I find, and people are like, "Wow, you find like gold rings and stuff like that, but you like the toys better." And I'm like, "Kinda, I really like the toys."
So, can you tell us about your best day treasure hunting, like ever?
My best day treasure hunting. Well, I think it would probably be. Um, we went down to the Caribbean. I think it was first or second time we went down, um, and uh, we were there for a week, and we got 47 gold and platinum and diamond rings in 1 week. So it wasn't a day, but we had a few days there where we had like multiple rings, and that was pretty memorable for me. That was an amazing week. We've had some other really good weeks, but that was a killer week. That was fun.
Hold on. That was a lot to comprehend. The number of rings. 47 was it?
Yeah,
47 gold, platinum, and silver.
yeah, gold, platinum, diamond, and silver. And there was a Bivalgari in there, which we thought was worth about $8,000 to $12,000, but it was a fake. That was
Mm.
that would have been amazing, but it turned out to be a fake. So, but still very cool, just going down there and dive detecting and finding rings, and in the
Yeah.
beautiful blue water. It's just with the white sand. It's you when you get older, Matty, and you decide to get into that, you would really like doing that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I bet I would. So, is there anything else that you'd like to say before um
The end
before
of the show.
yeah.
Well, I tell you, I want to thank you for inviting me on and talking about my new book, The Ring Finder, and about my article in American Digger, Below the Surface. I think you're doing a really good job, Matty. There's not a lot of young people that go on here and do this kind of stuff, and that's why I wanted to come on and support you and what you're doing. I think you're a really good young guy, and I really appreciate you inviting me on.
Oh, thanks. It was actually a privilege having you on here.
Thank
It was
you.
a really great time.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll come back someday if you want me to.
All right, we'll see.
Mom, I wanna go
Maybe one day we can go detecting together.
Let's go. I would like to do that. I would like to do that.
Well, until then.
Okay, thank you very much. I
Well,
appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And again, my book will be out on July 1st for pre-sale. July 15th, you'll be able to get the book, The Ring Finder.
yeah. Make sure you go check it out on when was it again? The
You can get it
15th.
on Amazon, on my website, zazulyk.com. You can find links on Facebook. If you look, you'll find me.
Yeah. So, without further ado, get out and have a day adventure.